Hi everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Days Podcast along with a new video. So today I'll be talking about um, Janet Jackson's Discipline. I was meaning to talk about this album sooner, as opposed to all of her other albums up until this point. So this is the last, major album that I can be able to speak on, as opposed to her first, two that she came out with before Control. So it's good that I'm kind of coming to a close and we can have a separate playlist of all these albums that, I appreciate. Like, subscribe, enjoy. Thank you for watching. Thank you for viewing and listening. And definitely check out Patreon, if anything, or Spotify. There are exclusive episodes on there. Of course, I would want you guys to know that there will be more content coming very soon. And let's get into it. So Discipline is the 10th studio album by American singer Janet Jackson. It was released February 22nd, 2008 by Island Records. It is her only album released with the record label after her 5-album deal with Virgin Records was fulfilled with the release of 20YO 2006. Jackson worked with producers such as Darkchild, Neo, Shay Taylor, Stargate, Jonte Austin, Jermaine Dupri, Tricky Stewart, and The Dream on the album. Jackson's long-term producer Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis did not contribute to the project. The album was executive produced by Island Urban president Dupri and Jackson. The album experimented with the electro-pop, house, and dance pop genres and also contained R&B and hip-hop oriented tracks. The album received generally positive reviews, with critics arguing that it was an improvement on Jackson's 2 previous albums. It debuted at number 1 on the US Billboard 200, becoming her 6th to top the chart and her first number 1 album since All For You. So this was a big deal, for the fact that, it's been about 7 years since she went number 1, and it's just something that, is very much an achievement. I'm happy that she was able to do that. However, sales of the album quickly fell, and by June, the album's promotion had officially ended. Jackson started her Rock With You tour with the support of Live Nation in early September to positive reviews, but by the end of that month, Jackson parted with her record label due to the album's commercial failure. 4 singles were released from the album. The lead single, Feedback, which reached number 19 on the US Hot 100, becoming Jackson's best charting single since 2001's Someone to Call My Lover, while the following singles, Rock With You, Love, and Can't Be Good, did not match the success of Feedback. And Rock With You and Love, and even Good Can't Be Good are good songs. Those were good songs. But yeah. In July 2007, it was announced that Jackson had signed a record contract with Island Records after her 5-album deal with Virgin Records was fulfilled with the release of 20YO. Originally, Jackson wanted to go on a tour in support of 20YO in 2007. However, Island Records executives asked her to record a new album, which would become Discipline. Instead, Jackson stated, "I was supposed to go on tour with the last album. We were actually in full-blown tour rehearsals at that point. Learning numbers, getting everything together, set designs. I had to kind of shut everything down and go into the studio." It was a big deal. And she recorded in multiple locations. The song So Much Better contains sample portions of the track Daft and Direct. I don't know how to say that. Oh, I think I said it. Daft and Direct. They just spelled it, different. By the French house music duo Daft Punk. So she actually had, a sample with Daft Punk. One more time. See, I gotta talk about them too. But yeah, so The deluxe edition of Discipline included a DVD entitled The Making of Discipline, splitting into 5 chapters which dominate the production of the album, its promotion, and the feedback music video. The first chapter, entitled Photo Shoots, show Jackson creating a new image for the album and adopting different looks for different markets. She spent 2 days working on photos for the cover and credit booklet, revealing that she still feels uncomfortable in front of the camera despite 2 decades in the music industry. In the second chapter, The Studio, Jackson expressed her opinion on recording work, stating that although she usually enjoyed the experience, it was at times tedious. She discusses further how her songs are built up in layers and parts, from melodies and background vocals or sounds. The third chapter, Rehearsals, shows the rehearsals of the dance routine for the feedback music video. The DVD reveals that the 8 dancers had been practicing for over a year before they started working with Jackson. The dancers then had 3 days to rehearse with Jackson and a further 2 days to complete the video. Jackson described the video as a metaphor for sexual tension. The 4th chapter, Behind the Video, shows the making of the video itself. Jackson told the director that she wanted a futuristic, moody concept, and he came up with the idea of jumping between planets. The final chapter is the lead music video in its entirety. The album was titled Discipline as an acknowledgement of Jackson's commitment, focus, and dedication to her career. Jackson stated, "I wanted to name the album Discipline because it has a lot of different meanings for me, but the most important would be work. To have done this for as long as I have and to have had the success that I've had, not excluding God by any means, but it takes a great deal of focus." However, in the album's title track, the title has a different meaning, as its lyrics see the protagonist asking her partner to discipline her for being bad. The cover artwork for Discipline was shot by Singaporean fashion photography duo Chuando plus Faye, and features Jackson as a dominatrix, wearing long black latex gloves with Discipline and Janet Jackson on some editions written on them. So I didn't really think of it too much as like dominatrix type vibes, but she was going there, y'all. But yeah, Discipline was released February 26, 2008. Jackson promoted the album through televised performances on Good Morning America, the Ellen DeGeneres Show, and MTV's Total Request Live. Her performance on Total Request Live was her first MTV appearance in 6 years, following her being blacklisted by the network due to the Super Bowl half show incident in 2004. She was also scheduled to perform on Saturday Night Live, but canceled due to illness. Performances on Jimmy Kimmel Live and at the London nightclub Gay, G-A-Y, were also initially planned. The album was also promoted during an appearance on Larry King Live. On March 31st, 2008, an edition of Discipline in environmentally friendly packaging was released exclusively in Walmart as a part of a green promotion. Island Records officially ended the promotion of the album by June 2008. Jackson later performed Love in a medley with Rev the Nation on the ABC special America United in support of our troops on September 7th. Although the album promotion stopped in June, Jackson's 5th concert tour, the North American Rock With You Tour, with the support of Live Nation, began on September 10th, 2008. The Vancouver Sun described Jackson's stage show at the GM Place as a high-voltage performance, according to O'Brien, with an ear-piercing blast of pyrotechnics, a fog of thick cloud and dancers that popped up out of the stage and runway. Jackson proved within the first minutes that she didn't choose the low-budget route for her Rock With You tour. Similarly, I don't know how to say similar. Yeah, similarly. Man, I hate when I butcher words, but you guys know what I mean. The Oakland Tribune offered a positive review, stating, like Jackson's previous tours, Rock With You was a flashy, high-budget extravaganza built on well-choreographed dance routines and plenty of theatrics. The initial response to the tour was very good, with sold-out shows in Los Angeles and Las Vegas. Supporting acts for the show included LL Cool J and Donnie Klang. Jackson had to reschedule 9 dates on the first leg of the tour due to vestibular migraines. And vestibular migraines is I guess I guess it was just pretty much basically, well, there's a type. Headache that is associated with vertigo is emerging as a popular diagnosis for patients with recurrent vertigo. But in contrast, so vertigo is a medically recognized term for the symptom of a vestibular system disturbance. It may include a feeling of rotation or illusory sensations of motion or both. The general term dizziness is used by non-medical people for those symptoms, but often refers to a feeling of lightheadedness, giddiness, drowsiness, or faintness, all of which must be differentiated from true vertigo, since the latter symptoms might have other causes. Motion sickness occurs. I didn't even know that she had that. But it was a migraine. So it was like headaches and stress. However, on November 4th, 2008, Jackson canceled 7 of 9 shows, which had been rescheduled, citing schedule conflicts as the main reason. On November 19th, it was announced on Japanese newspapers and websites that Jackson will bring the tour to Japan for a series of 5 shows in Saitama, Nagoya, Osaka, and Fukuoka. I think that's how you say it. Fukuoka. I think that's how you say it. In February 2009, however, all 5 dates were canceled. And even in the midst of this, she is working on a movie for Why Did I Get Married? Critical reception receives mixed reviews from most music critics. The Metacritic said 61 out of 100. 61 was the score, rating out of 100 views. Out of 100 reviews, based on 14 reviews, which indicates generally favorable reviews. Rolling Stone at the time wrote, Jackson has abandoned the plastic R&B of 2006 20YO for a sexier brand of digitized megapop. You can dismiss any images of the abusive Jackson clan that flit into your mind. Just lie back and enjoy the sensations as pure oral autoeroticism. Okay, this is what I like to hear. Like, people giving her credit. Like, let's get into the track list. Let's do that. So yes, it wasn't able to be really Grammy nominated, unfortunately. Feedback was really the pioneer of this album as far as the single goes. But yes, debuted at number 1 for the issue dated ending March 15, 2008 with 181,000 copies. While this was a higher chart position than Jackson's 2 previous album releases, it was a lower first week sales total compared to Damita Jo, which opened with sales of 381,000. and 20YO, which was sales of 296,000. Yeah. Paul Green of Yahoo Music observed that with 6 #1 studio albums, Jackson has surpassed her brother Michael Jackson, who has amassed 5 #1 albums, with 6 #1 albums at this time, because Unbreakable it's 7. Jackson is now tied with Mariah Carey and Britney Spears in the U.S. for the third most #1 albums for a female artist, behind Madonna with 8, and Barbra Streisand's 10 chart toppers. In its second week, the album fell to number 3 with 57,000 copies. And in its third week, the album fell to number 8 with sales of 38,000 copies. And like I said in the previous videos, people were downloading. So it's like, when you were buying things in like the late 2000s and 2010s, you really fucked with them. Like, you really fucked with the artists, because people were downloading, making their own copies, like just vaguely, just not caring. Like, oh, I got the album. You do? Yeah, I didn't have to buy it either. Just horrible. But yes. In its fourth week, the album fell to number 17 with sales of 34,000 copies, achieving total first month sales of 310,000 copies. It has sold 600,000 copies in the U.S. to date. The album achieved moderate success in other countries, receiving number 3 in Canada with 6,000 copies sold during its first week, and number 9 in Switzerland. But had lower sales in most European markets. By June 2008, Island stopped promoting Discipline. The singer expressed open dissatisfaction with the promotion of the album, explaining that there would be no further single releases. The album was a commercial failure in the United Kingdom, spending only 1 week on the UK albums chart and peaking at number 63 with 3,914 copies sold. But it did manage to peak at number 5 on the UK R&B album chart. It has sold 9,312 copies in the country. In France, Discipline debuted at 43 with just 3,000 copies sold. In Japan, the album debuted at number 9 with 19,839 copies sold. It has been certified gold by the Recording Academy of Japan and has sold over 100,000 copies in the country. She wanted to change her label, and it just, yeah. But as far as with the label change, we'll talk about it. On September 22nd, 2008, while on the Live Nation supported tour of North America, Jackson parted company with her record label, Island. Their 14-month relationship was dissolved per a request by Jackson. The singer had previously expressed dissatisfaction with the label, first telling SOHH.com that they stopped all promotion whatsoever on the album after releasing the first single, Feedback. In early September, she had stated, "I can't say if we'll be working with them in the future. I don't know what the future holds between the two of us." A spokesperson for Jackson added, "Jackson will have autonomy over her career without the restrictions of a label system." Always known to break new ground and set trends, Jackson's departure from Island Records makes her one of the first superstar artists to have the individual freedom to promote their work through a variety of avenues such as iTunes, mobile carriers, and other diverse and innovative channels. Jackson told Sister to Sister magazine, "There were some people who didn't like the direction I took with this album. I love dance songs, and I think my fans expect that of me. I have been getting more behind the scenes with film and television. I will probably continue to do music, and acting is still a strong passion of mine, but I really have been loving behind the scenes work." producing, directing, and all the technical stuff. A few months before the split, a spokesperson for the label told Billboard, "Unfortunately, we haven't experienced the results we have." Let me hold on, y'all. Unfortunately, we haven't experienced the results we would have liked with this new album, but we respect and support Janet. So this was more or less of a expectation type of thing. Just horrible. So track listing, track 1 is ID. That's pretty much her, bringing us in, as she would with most of her intros. This is similar to, in a sense, Twisted Elegance, where it's just like she's reeling us in, she's talking and letting us be just relatable with her and who she may be talking to. It could be us, But there's track 2, Feedback, track 3, Love, both great songs. Roddy Jerkins was really on this album. Track 4 is Spinning. Track 5 is Roller Coaster. Track 6 is Bathroom Break. Track 7 is Rock With You. Now, Roller Coaster and Rock With You, they kind of go together. Tonight also kind of goes together with them too. That's track 8. Can't Be Good is track 9. But yeah, Rock With You, legendary video. She's just all over the place. She's with, people that love her, appreciate her, dancers, people alike, just out dancing and partying, just enjoying the night. Can't Be Good is pretty much just, a confessional, a smooth confessional. Track 10 is 4 Words. Track 11 is Never Let You Go. Track 12 is Truth or Dare. Track 13 is Greatest X. Track 14 is Good Morning Janet. Track 15 is So Much Better. So Much Better. I love that song. Don't need another. Yes. And then track 16 is Play Selection. Track 17 is The One, featuring Missy Elliott. Track 18 is What's Your Name. Track 19 is The Meaning. Track 20 is Discipline. Track 21 is Back. And track 22 is Curtains. There was a UK bonus track, which was Let Me Know. And I think that the album was good. I think it was a great comeback album as far as, her literally coming back to come back again within 7 years to give us also Unbreakable. And, now that we've kind of got to the point of talking about pretty much all the albums, we can pretty much come together with them all in this video here. So it's just to see her growth from Control all the way even up to this album. You say to yourself, this woman went through a lot. And even down to where she took time off, had made more movies, as opposed to having a son, which her son came after Unbreakable. It really lets you know, she's really completing her life, and as she should. There's just been so much that she's been able to really give and express and achieve. And for her next album and next singles that she does come out with, we'll be there, we'll be ready, and there's a broader perspective from her music now, with her being a mother and her being able to tour more and tour pretty much as how she used to. So everything pieces together. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and episode, and I'll be back with more.